We are a little over a month away from the NFL regular season to begin, with 33 days until the opener. However, there are a few players that they just don't get that kind of luck. They get out and get hurt. They could be done for a season or for a very lengthy portion of time. For these players, it's very disappointing. Like the Broncos wide receiver Tim Patrick. He tore his ACL in practice this past week, and everyone's like, we're likely to... No, he's not coming. It's very difficult to play on a torn or ruptured ligament. There's only been a few players that can do that, and most of them are quarterbacks that don't have to move, like Tom Brady. Phillip Rivers did it back in the day. But wide receivers? I mean, there's a great story about Jerry Rice. He ruptured his knee, and it ended up happening earlier in the season. And near Christmas in December, his family thought they heard something and they went in. He had a chainsaw and he had cut off his cast. And he said, I don't need the cast anymore. Insane, but if it's Jerry Rice, it's Jerry Rice. You're not going to go against him. But Tim Patrick isn't Jerry Rice. The likelihood of him playing is, like, you're talking about 0.3% likely. Like, that's not good odds for him. It could happen, but in all likelihood it won't. The Cowboys made another signing. This is a player that you do know, however. They signed Anthony Barr. 1-year contract, $2 million base salary, $3 million if you count the incentives. Barr said the reason why he came to Dallas was because of his familiarity with Cowboy assistant George Edwards, who was once upon a time the defensive coordinator in Minnesota. But he said the second thing was he believes the Cowboys are a contender, and he knows that Dan Quinn will have the best usage for him, as it goes without saying of a hell of a job he could do and what he was able to do with the Cowboys roster that was very similar to the year prior and was much, much better than what they were that in 2020 compared to 2021. They were much better in 21 as they were in 2020. Van Jefferson will have a knee surgery, but had a knee surgery this past Tuesday. Only gonna miss a few weeks. They're just scoping it just to take some of those tears out that aren't full tears. They're just to clean some stuff up. Nothing to worry about. But it's TBD whether or not he plays week 1. This Cowboys receiver, however, will not play week 1 as newly Cowboys wide receiver James Washington to miss 6 to 10 weeks with a Jones fracture in his foot. Basically, he broke his foot. Tank Lawrence had this issue last year. Des Bryant a number of years ago had this injury. It's devastating. You can't run. You can't move really. And with a wide receiver, that's a very big factor. The Patriots have agreed to a new contract with punter Jake Bailey, making the new contract goes 4 years through 2025, $13.5 million, $6.5 million guaranteed, making him one of the highest paid punters in the league. The Steelers did a similar thing except with their kicker Chris Boswell, as they assigned him to a 4-year contract extension. making him the highest paid kicker in NFL history. 4 years, $20 million, $12.5 million guaranteed. A good decision. Boswell's been very good as a Steelers kicker. Let's see what he can do. Now he has a contract extension. And finally, DJ Humphries of the Cardinals got a contract extension as well. It's a 2-year contract extension, but the numbers have yet to come out. So a lot of extensions, this time of year that happens, retirees, that happens, injuries, happens all the time. But the amount of extensions and the amount of injuries, it's always interesting when it gets to this time of year, 33 days, for the NFL regular season to begin.